How we doing, folks? On a comment in one of my other videos, somebody asked me to talk about the toolbox that's on my bike. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether they were talking about the top box here or whether they had spotted the little tool tube that I've got on here. I've already done a video on this, so I'm not really going to go into that in any depth, but I'll put a little link to that up in the corner here. You can have a look at that if you want to. But in short, this is a Pelican Style Max 430. You buy them online. There's lots of different versions of this. Oh, windy. Sorry for this weird camera angle, folks. It's really windy. Yeah, I'm down here at the harbour, which obviously doesn't help, but anyway. I've had this strapped on the bike for quite some time now. It's like a basic bog standard tool tube, and they're sort of universal. You see on here they've got these holes bored into them, and you can add additional holes or move it around. The beauty of something like this, folks, is it's sturdy and it's cheap. Yeah, it's not going to break on you, and you can actually get plenty in there, especially things like tyre irons and stuff like that. But I'll talk about that in a second. You can also buy them in different sizes. This one here is 12.5 inches long, and it's a 3.5 inch diameter. You can buy them a little bit shorter than this. You can buy them a little bit, you know, longer than this or wider than this. And it's a very straightforward screw cap sort of style, and it's got a little rubber sort of grommet on there, you know, to keep it nice and waterproof. There's different ways to attach this thing to the bike. Now, I'm sure you'll work out different ways to do it. Now, I've had this on here with cable wraps, cable ties, which they're perfectly fine. They hold it nice and sturdy. But with all the off-roading and stuff I do, I decided I wanted to try and get something a little bit more robust. So I went online and I found these little metal P-clamps. They're really good. Again, they're not expensive. They're a couple of pounds. You'll find them on Amazon or whatever. I'll try and find them. I'll put links below, and they're really flexible. Yeah, and all you want to do is just put that wherever you want it to be, and it's not going to scratch up your frame because it's got the little rubber covering on there. Yeah, another way to put it onto the bike, a good old-fashioned cable wrap. You know, now I've always got some of these on the bike. I've always got maybe 10-15 of them, you know, in the top box or wherever, because you just never know. Especially if you're off-roading stuff, they can save a multitude of different things, you know, cables, or, you know, you damage the bash plate or something, you know, you can put it back on. But these will hold something like this box on quite happily. I'm not going to keep a lot of things in this little tool tube, guys. It's my lifesavers. It's things like my tyre irons, a couple of spare spanners, you know, puncture repair kit, spare inner tube, things that I would say are non-negotiable, things that you always want to have on the bike. Outside of things like inner tubes and stuff like that, then your Enfield toolkit covers pretty much anything you're going to need at a pinch. But I do carry other things. I carry little spare arm keys and stuff like that, but that's again something for a future video. I'll talk about that, and I'll show you just exactly what I keep in my full kit. Now, there's different places I guess you could put this. It's entirely up to you and your pannier frames and stuff like that. Now, I've got these GV pannier frames, and I find this fits quite neatly up inside here. You can buy something like a GV toolbox, which is obviously much more expensive, but something like this is, I think I paid like less than 10 quid for this. It was really pennies, to be honest. And the beauty of this is you can put one on either side if you want to, you know. And I keep this at maybe a sort of 30-degree angle, you know. It gets bolted in at the back here, yeah. 2 in at the front. You could put 3 if you want to. And again, it's entirely up to you. I've seen people bolt them further down the frame, you know, in here, that type of thing. I don't want it so close to the tyre, to be honest, so I've got mine sitting up in here, and that works really quite well for me. Sometimes simple, easy solutions are just exactly what you need, especially if you're bashing about and you're thumping around off-road. It's like this top box. That's a classic example for me. That's probably one of the best things I've ever put in this bike. It's not let me down yet. I throw things in there on the daily, day in, day out, camera gear, everything like that. It didn't cost a lot of money.